Howdys and salutations, y'all, and welcome back to a very low-key stream. So I guess I ought to give a little context, because when we last left off, we were talking about Witchtober and all the events there, and we were busy on Tumblr and all that jazz and knocking out art pieces. And I'm gonna be honest, whether it's because I got my flu shot, or if it's just because I'm exhausted, I burned out real stinking hard on Witchtober. And I realized that I wasn't particularly interested in unburning out on it. Suffice it to say, despite aiming to not be character design heavy, it ended up being character design heavy, but more than that, it ended up being rushed. Like, I'm not trying to be pretentious and say that I have a certain minimum standard for stuff I want to share. Although, you know, you do care a little bit about what you put out there, but obviously this is a learning stream. This is what we've been doing. So, but I don't like it when things feel rushed and end up being bad, not because I couldn't make them better, but because I was trying to crunch it for a deadline. An arbitrary deadline. Like, you know, obviously if it's an unmovable deadline, it is what it is. But for something like this, I was like, why am I going to extra effort to pump out art pieces that I am less and less happy with? So I figure let's maybe just put a little hold on that, focus on some, like, one or two things I want to do in November that'll be fun, and in the meantime, we can have some Halloween fun later in the month, and some MySims fun earlier in the month. Howdy Galactic, good to see you, thank you for dropping in. And for the head pats. But yeah, so I figured, you know what, yesterday I was just feeling bad for different reasons, but like today, yeah, I'm feeling good, I'm well rested and all that, but I figured let's take it easy, let's do a little reset, have a little fun, jump back into MySims, which I had forgotten we started a series in this technically. It's definitely one I'd love to do more of. It just, you know, it has even fewer viewers than like, nobody watches this. I love MySims, but nobody watches these streams. Doesn't change the fact that I enjoy them, though, so they're great rest for me. And thank you! Yeah, the day has been treating me pretty well, all things considered. Good day at work, nice weather. Well, by some standards, anyway. Yeah, I actually got, like, more than 8 hours of sleep last night. I'm in a pretty good place. I am talking fast because I watched a Stupendium video, and, like, his music is fun, but it gets my brain, like, jumbled up. It's good, though. But I'm sure I'll slow down as the course of the stream goes on. So let's... What a combination. Sumeria, which was my personal save for a while back. So, for context on this one, I played probably, like, hundreds of hours of this on the Wii, back when I was a kid. And I've played considerably fewer hours, although still a number of them, on various different computer versions throughout the years. This one, I had to see if I can transfer my saves over from the other computer, because I had like a 4-star town on one of those. I had a 5-star town back in the original days, when I was a kid. That was fun. But yeah, I think we're going to pick up where we left off with our last stream, because we spent about an hour just getting everything set up, and so no point in doing that again. However, somewhat fittingly, I'm pretty sure we were playing as Miquella from Elden Ring, because this is the Halligtree, so that might be a theme we can build off of for our designs. Galactic, have you ever played MySims? I know you do a lot of Sim streams, which are a lot of fun, but MySims is, well... It's going to look a little more dated. Oh, jeepers, that camera spin speed. I wonder if I can adjust that. Because that's going to make people dizzy. Maybe I can just follow the natural one and not use the cameras. Like the direct controls. But, oh man. Wow, I don't remember it being quite this, everything. It's moving quick. But it's a lot I love this game. Yeah, let's nab these, because we can get an organic essence. It's a little different from some of the other Sims stuff in that this one is mostly centered around gathering resources to construct furniture and design houses, but it's mostly around like the furniture and requests. Yeah, I think most people played the main ones, and the DS versions are so different from like the Wii and all the other consoles and the PC that I've got this on. I gotta see if I can get a capture card from my Wii, because the sequels never got ported to PC. Okay, let's see. Where did we leave off? Have we even talked to Poppy yet? I gotta pick up... Oh, no tasks. Okay, then we probably need to talk to... Poppy then. Whoops. Okay, sorry. Oh, jeepers, this is gonna make me dizzy. Having this on like a wide screen close to my face is very different from having it on a TV but far away. But at least this loads a lot faster. Oy. Okay. Hello, Poppy. Shall we have a conversation? Garchankafru? I love the Sims speak. Hey, Poppy. It is a good flower shop. Oh, okay. Thank you, Poppy. Man, see, I need, like, the conveyance aimed at kindergartners to figure out where I need to go because it's been so long since I, like, actually opened the game last. Well, I'm glad they had that in there. Oh, man. You know, it's almost a shame that the loading screens are so fast, because I mean, look, they were too slow. On the Wii, they'd be like a full, like, 30 seconds to a minute. But they had little, like, tips and tricks on there that would, like, after a few moments, like, the center tiles of that would vanish. And now there's no chance for them to even finish their, like, drop-in, like, load. Man, my gut reflex is to rotate the camera to the direction I'm going every single time. I will try not to do that, because I'm sure that is dizzying. That one wasn't me. It just does that. It just be that way. Simlish. Yeah. Someday. Ah, speech podium. Ooh, okay. Our little sample quest. Once the podium's finished, bring it back to the town hall and give it to Mayor Rosalind. I'll try not to skip through dialogues. I've played this game so many stinking times, but, like, I know not everyone has. Because, well, you know. It was a weird little series. Every single game in this series was completely different, like, genre. Like, MySims is all about building furniture, basically. They're like, you get orders and requests, and you go out and gather the resources, and then you build furniture, and that unlocks the ability to get new resources. Where on earth am I going? I need to get to the apple garden. That's basically the gameplay loop. And as you do better, the quality of the town improves, and more people want to move in, which gets you more quests and so on. And you get to sort of... Oh, right, I was trying to build the Halligtree. Oh my... It works. What is this? Genuinely, oh no. Okay. Well, some design choices were made here. But, I mean, I'm pretty sure the last time we played this was when I was on Miquella Burnout, on, like, round 2 of 3 Miquella Burnout, before we finally finished that piece. So, it may be a little wonky, but that's okay. Here's the garden. So, we're just gathering the essences, and there's, like, little different types of things to get the essences. So you can, like, water the trees, or plant different trees, or chop them down to get wood, and so on. I don't know. It's got a bunch of little fun things, but it's just a really nice little, like, mindless game where you can still have some fun being creative in how you actually, like, design the whatever people ask for. And the game has fun with it. There's quirky stuff, like The Sims always does. But then, like, the sequels, one of them was more about, like, wiring and puzzle solving for quests. Like, you don't actually design any furniture, but you do some, like, interior layout stuff, and you travel to different islands and, like, save a robot and stuff. It's fun. My Sims Kingdom is fun, but it's very different. And then My Sims Racing is a racing game. My Sims Agents is, like, a detective story / adventure puzzle game, sort of in the genre of, like... I don't know. It could have been like a children's Sherlock Holmes game type deal. Except it also has like secret agent stuff. Like hacking. Terrible, terrible hacking minigames. And then there's My Sims Sky Heroes, which is like a dogfighting game. Like I don't know what they were doing with this series. It is so all over the place. But it is fun. Actually, one of my favorite random encounters with this was I was in an economics class. In the textbook, one of the examples was game design, and it was a character designer that was designing an NPC from this game. And I was like, wait a second! Hold on. So we'll see. We might actually get to meet that one. That was DJ Candy. DJ Candy Super Groove, I think, is technically her full, what do you call that? It's not title. Is it title? Show name, stage name, perhaps, yeah. Okay, I'll stop gathering apples. I've just been doing this absent-mindedly. But then there's like a prospecting one, which is sort of like a hot or cold type minigame. I don't know. I'm not going to pretend that this is like an intellectual game or anything, but it's fun and charming, and I quite like it. I'm glad they ported it to PC, but it's a shame they didn't port any of the others. Okay, let's go back to the Halligtree, I guess. Miquella's workshop. Ah, the console edition? Yeah. I have to say, I will for MySims, the port to PC is pleasantly like 1-to-1. Like this is exactly the same game, except without some of the wonky Wii controls that made building a nightmare. Oh, y'all probably can't see the top menu. Well, that's okay. Well, you can't even see the help tip. You can see the bottom edge of it. And most of the important stuff isn't up there. It's just shifts between building and paint mode, and then a few different ways of placing things. So this was always fun with a Wii controller, was trying to, like, orient things correctly. Keepers, what are... Okay, there we go. And I can right-click, and... Okay, right-click is still multi... Okay, nice. Pick it up, move it. It gets a little wonky, but actually, as far as, like, controls go, it was pretty solid for a game of its time, when you're talking about, like, manipulating stuff in 3D space with a Wiimote. Bonk. But it's got... So I can toggle or hide these. Yes, thank you for that tip. Oh, nice! I wonder what that one's like, because the little resources you gather in this are called essences, so it may have been similar era kind of genre deal. Probably not same genre, but like they were thinking in the same line, because it kind of the essences all tie to the Sims personalities. Okay, so okay, yes, that's painting tutorial. We'll go through that in a minute. But like you've got this list, and you can see like, oh, I picked up a clownfish, and then it's got different paint colors and patterns and stuff that you can paint the objects. But also, you can tell from the color, like the yellow background means it's a party essence, and so it'll, like, party Sims will like it. Or you've got spooky, or you've got nerdy, and so on. Erudite, academic, or whatever they call it. Smart. They probably just called it smart. And then cute. And then foodie. So, fun categories, and the Sims all have different things, so you can try to build stuff that they'll like. The other thing what made it fun, though, is normally with a lot of these games, it's like, okay, it snaps to the little green highlighted thing, and you're like, eh, bip, bip. And done. Boring. Nothing exciting about that. But all of the ghost stuff is technically optional. As long as you don't intersect with where someone would stand when interacting with it, which is what these hitboxes show. And as long as you have at least a piece... Well, a piece that's touching the ground, typically, or wherever it mounts, something the wall mounted, and something occupying this little sparkle here, then it'll count. So, if I could... I mean, it's kind of hard to do something truly terrible with the limited pieces we've got unlocked right now, but... I mean, I could just make random garbo until it hits that. And then... Bam! Bam! And it'll let me do that. It has no problems with this invention. Which makes it a lot of fun. Because you can actually get creative with things and make silly stuff. Let's see if we can't make this podium a little bit more interesting. Okay, so right there probably. And then let's maybe... I don't know, we'll do like a kind of fun... Wireframe's the wrong word, but... raised platform deal. Although I may have made this a hair too tall, because let me guess, that's... Yep, okay, so I need to drop that down just a little bit. We'll use the 3 highs. So was Sims 3 where you started playing, or was that just one you remember fondly? Because I've seen so much from The Sims, and it's crazy to me that I've never actually played it. Might have to do slide under mode. We'll see if it plays nice. Usually doesn't. Oh, okay. There we go. That's a thing. And she wanted it to involve 4 apples. So usually what you can either like physically place them. Like that's one option. We can go into placement mode. We can go in the backpack, and I can just scatter a bunch of apples. And boom! Satisfied. Or we could not do that, because that looks dreadful. I mean, we can put one underneath. That's kind of fun on theme. But most of the essences you sneak in, or at least I usually sneak in, with those paint options. So you can go to this, you can't see the modes, but we're in construction mode when we have the pieces, and then we got paint mode. And you can do the basic colors, which are just kind of 4 wood tones. It's like nice basic, you can do some nice simple stuff with that. Or you can grab the essences here. The base ones are actually really nice neutral tones. I just found them horribly boring as a child, but they're actually not bad. The thing with these is some of them, like you get, for every essence you get 2 flat colors, a red and a pink. Well, a red and a pink for the apple, and then you get 2 patterns. So we've got kind of like an apple core pattern, and then like kind of a country farm wallpaper looking deal. For my Rosalind, I may go with something a little more, I don't know, professional looking. We can add some counter color there, or we could even do like our simple colors. Okay, yeah, and that gets our apples. It looks kind of snappy. It's not amazing, but it's not terrible. Kind of fun. Fun and professional, it'll fit in. And so once we're ready, oh, you can't see this either. I can click to see the task, and we'll see there's a check mark on it because we've met all the requirements. The requirements get a lot more complicated later on. But we're good. The other thing that's fun about it is every time your town goes up a star level, which there's a little gauge up here. I wonder if you can see that on the pause menu. No, okay. Maybe in the backpack view. Or this view. Blueprint, essence, task, I mean relationship. Nah. You can build relationships with everyone too, and they'll give you blueprints to make more things. That's the reward. It's a fun little, if you like building things, it's a great like gameplay cycle. If you're not that keen on building things, this is a terrible game. Yeah. Oh, okay, cool. We've got apple chairs here theming along. So we'll fit the. Oh, they even went with a darker wood top, which we don't have unlocked yet. Let's be friendly. Well, let's interrupt her phone call by being friendly, but we'll be friendly. And you get essences from that too, of course. Oops, I talked to her. That's fine. I love these low poly essences. Ah, yes, that's right. Talking to them isn't... Here, I'll go around and grab that first. We can go to the give stuff when we have stuff what for given. We have essences and we can decorate them, we can paint things. Yeah. Yeah, this one is very much a... You better enjoy... The thing it's about is building, and if you don't like that, not the game. Which is fine. Because I do happen to like it, but... There we go, she's got an audience and everything. And so the primary essence of this, the apples, or not the apples, but the object itself is a podium, which gives a lot of smart essence. And so it contributes to the smartness of the building, which is something Rosalind, who's looking a little bit squashed in that corner there, happens to like. Ah, okay, cool. And so she likes it. She'll practice her speeches there, and we get a new blueprint, which is a fancy chair. I think it's actually the chairs in the back room there. Oh, right, and when you finish every single task for a sim, they usually give you a few other rewards, and they like you a lot. Rosalind's the tutorial, so she only has the one. Until I think you hit star level 4, and then everyone has new asks. Okay. Ooh, a potted plant. Awesome. We'll definitely use that. But yeah, no, normal Sims games have a much broader sort of appeal, I would suspect. Oh yeah, no, it's definitely fun. One where it's fun to RP a little bit, especially if you like decide on the sim personality traits your sim likes, and then you can really lean into it with like, because you get a house, you get to design too, which is fun. Totally bonus. I can't listen. sometimes when the other fun thing that's kind of just fun to explore is all the other Sims have like random actions they can take, and you can usually join in if you catch them while they're doing it. So like you can usually listen to speeches, or there'll be people who just set up a boombox in the park, or a seance, or whatever else. So it's one of those rare games where it actually does feel like a kind of lived in. Like The Sims, despite being super simple and basic, The Sims are still doing their things regardless of what you do. But yeah, this one we might end up RPing Miquella a little more, but I think we'll have to get through the tutorial area to do that. Although Poppy might present an interesting opportunity. Not sure Poppy would like Scarlet Rot themed decor, but okay, I've broken Poppy's navigation. Sorry, Poppy. Ah, flower stand. That can be arranged. Let's see, and wants happy essence. And sometimes they'll give you a hint on how to find the essences. Some of those hints are more useful than others. This one's helpful. Just be nice to people. So let's be nice. And then yeah, and you can sort of decide what kind of town you want to build and who you want to invite. Once we get through sort of like star level 1, people will start showing up at the hotel, and then you can sort of choose who you want to have around and like really set the whole mood of the town. I like Vic Vector a lot. He's very fun because he like runs like a game store, and he's just a big nerd, and he has one of the coolest stinking blueprints in the game if you do all of his quests, because it's like a full-on like Dungeons and Dragons or wargaming thing. Oh yeah, there's goth. They call him spooky in this one because it was aimed at like younger, I guess. But absolutely. In fact, Poppy's sister. We ought to go talk to Violet. Because Violet, 100%. Oh, sorry, Poppy. I exited the animation too early. And Violet's usually only hanging out around at nighttime anyway, so this is a good moment. Let's see. It is possible that I know stinking all of these Sims because I spent so much time playing this. Or at the very least, most of them. I don't... So that's Patrick's house. So Violet's... I mean, her house is over here. I just usually run into her in the park somewhere random. Let's see. I like the music is, like, set by the tone of the house, too. Ah, there's Violet. Okay. Hello. You Borgoli? Oh yeah, Poppy runs the flower shop. Oh yeah, and there's a lot of them. It's a fun mix. They really do all have strong personality. Always prefer dead flowers. Yeah, Violet is deep in the goth phase, but nothing wrong with that. Maybe she's more emo. Because when you're nice to her, you get sadness. Which is... Oh, and scary. Okay, good. Maybe it's just a mix. I don't know. But yeah, no, Vic Vector is stinging, because he starts a stinging game store arcade thing, but it's clear that he just sort of spontaneously did it, and he's like figuring it out as he goes. He's great. Just an absolute dork all the way. Always fun to build stuff for him. And then let's see. Actually, something we can go do real quick. Maybe. We may have to wait until the next star level, but I'm gonna go try. Also, I'm sorry if y'all hear train horns in the background. It is really loud tonight. Maybe the weather's making it carry more. But yeah, no, Vic Vector, there's, oh, what is her name? Is it Jenny? I think it's Jenny. You'd probably find fun. Then if we do a seance, which we can't start, but we might catch Violet doing one at some point. No tickets yet. Okay, fine. But if you do that, then a ghost will start randomly spawning around town. And she's a lot of fun. A real challenge to befriend, I'm gonna be honest, but she's a lot of fun. Oh, we can't get over here yet either. When I have the right tool. Perhaps. Although I did manage to clip the ghost through the bridge one time, so that was not stellar, but she was fine. Dead tree, we can go ahead and chop this down. Get some useful essences. And plant another one. What type of tree should we plant? We've got the yellow blossoms, which are cute. We've got green apples and red apples, which are both tasty. And then we got the spooky thorns. And you can see their paint patterns too, just in case you want to decide based on that. We already have 45 red apples. The item cap is 99. I maybe need to slow down on gathering those. Let's see. Ooh. You know what? Let's do yellow blossoms. And we'll go ahead and water that to get it going. But, yeah, actually, let's pop into the hotel, too. Open all hours. Not that there's people in the lobby at certain hours. But Buddy is pretty much always around. He's a bellhop who definitely just stinking lives on the first floor. And he is the best. Oh, hiya, pal. I can almost guarantee I won't drop their luggage a bunch. I guess no one trusts a clumsy bellhop. Oh, poor Buddy. And the hints that I'm still in the tutorial zone because I don't have any stars yet, so I really ought to go build something for Poppy. Yeah, I'm on it. I love his fireplace, though. It's such a good fireplace. It's also a blueprint you can unlock, but it is stinking not the easiest one. Mainly because most of the other ones, because a lot of the blueprint unlocks are from getting to high friendship levels with people. And for most of them, you do that by doing their quests or different things, but Buddy just runs the hotel, so you have to go out of your way to do it, which I like. It means you actually have to care about him a little bit, and your reward is a really, really cool, horribly complicated blueprint. I think you have to be star level 4 to even have a shot at like having the pieces to build it and getting the essences. It's great. Okay, Puppy's flower stand. Let's see. Don't really have a lot of pieces to work with, which complicates this somewhat. Otherwise, I would be like, oh, let's go for some, like, crazy, over-the-top, like, Bauhaus-looking nonsense, or maybe something that's like a tree. But as is, we might have to get creative. Wonder if we could just do, like, have them all balanced on sticks. It's nice that it has these little white squares that show you, like, where the sparkles are over. That makes things a little easier. Is that this is just a little too tall, maybe? No, it's perfect. Oh, I need to remove snapping mode or else it's going to try to connect it, which is handy sometimes. All of the modes are handy sometimes. And they're all janky sometimes. But, oh yeah. The days before Minecraft, this was definitely my favorite, like, childhood game. I love this game. Okay, this looks like a stable thing that you should have. Maybe a crossbeam, whoops, wouldn't be amiss. Oh, for the sake of... Right. Sometimes the order that you put things down matters a little bit. There we go. So now, I can pop this 5 here, and the 2 on top of it. Ooh. But genuinely, like, even if the interaction on this is not, like, the physics interaction isn't amazing and the mouse is a little janky, compared to the other stuff that was happening in, like, I want to say this came out in, like, 2007 or 8 or something, like, early, and, like, some of the control schemes I saw were so horrible. Like, this one was actually, like, usable, if a little frustrating on the Wii, and I was always impressed by that. impressed when I wasn't, you know, frustrated, like absolutely fed up with it. Okay, so I guess not sliding under. Let's try snapping and see if that one gets where we want to go. There we go. They all just change the behavior of like how it detects depth from your cursor a little bit. And having that option to shift between them is really a lifesaver sometimes. Sometimes. It doesn't always do it. Let's just set these over here for a second. Get a clear shot. I guess maybe not magnet. Let's see. Not magnet when we're at this angle. Cool. Line these up easy enough. Boom. Okay. See. Poppy wanted blossoms. Right? No, she wanted happy. She wanted happy. Junk. Actually, let's go ahead and paint that one back to our default wood grain. And then let's use happy as like a nice little band around the middle here. Kind of use it as our accent color a little bit. And we could maybe go for the lighter wood grain. That doesn't cost us anything. I wonder if we'll get to Pirate Ginny. Definitely not tonight's stream, but someday, maybe. You know, that kind of actually works with the color of the flower. Oh, the flowers all align with the colors within, well, the blossom and the happy essences. Oh, that's nice. Okay, so we'll just do something simple now, see if we can KO this quest, and that... we may have to do 2 quests for Poppy in order to really, like, get the town in the next stage and start unlocking some real resources. Let's see, because you can see the town is just stinking full of ruins right now. It's not amazing. Okay. Let's see if we can't find a nice spot to fit this in. Oh, and that wall's nice. Now the flowers have a happy house to live in. Yay! Table blueprint. And one of the benefits, if you're not doing quests, one of the benefits of using specific blueprints is that they all sort of, not all of them, but a lot of them have different interactions with the world. So, like, if you build a table, you'll be able to place items on it because it's designed as a table. If you build a couch, you can sit on it. Like ovens you can cook with and so on. Like, there's a bunch of different little odds and ends and quirks. Arcades you can actually play, and there's like a little, well, it's not really a mini game, but a little GIF, basically, that has different results. There's a karaoke machine. Like, there's some silly stuff. Ah, the flower bed. I was forgetting about the flower bed. I know there's another flower stand coming up. It's sort of the final quest. But we may not need that one. Oh, hold on. Looking at the benches, they've got a sort of plain wood and then just the flower pattern on the actual, like, surface. Maybe we build off of that. Try to match it a little bit. Which, it's nice that they make that possible, because Poppy's house has much less complicated stuff in it than, like, later Sims. You get, like, Roxy, whose stuff is all Bumblebee themed and has a million different stripes and complicated, like, odds and ends and clever essence uses. But you don't get that until you actually have some of those. Oh, yes, that way, yeah, it's the, like, place and copy. So, like, oh yeah, the hotkeys for slide under mode, which is handy. And, okay, it's telling us about the 3 modes, which, again, up here y'all can't quite see. I can... Let's see, I can probably... Where's the overlay? That's monitor 1, it's not that, that's pure ref. That's... Ah, here we go. Sneak preview. You can see some other things. But, like, here's the 3 modes up here. So we've got... Do you want to show the ghost boxes or not? We've got snap mode, basically, which will try to latch it onto logical places of existing items in the scene, sort of. And then slide under, which means you can actually put stuff under, because by default it will assume you want to attach something on rather than under. So they're handy little modes of interacting with the objects. Let's pop that overlay back on. Okay. So I kind of like the idea of, well, it's probably not going to be the nicest bed in the world, but I'm going to try to match the style a little bit of what Poppy had going on with those benches. So I'm just going to, and we'll fudge this a little bit. Be a good chance to use slide under mode. I'm going to go ahead and place this down, actually. And everything is wood by default, but when you get more essences, you can texture them so they look like other things, which is good. Would be bad otherwise. Okay, so yeah, see, it's on snap mode, so it's trying to snap either to the side of this one or to the edge of the piece, because it thinks that's a logical spot, which is actually a really nice mode to have sometimes. Let's see. And then I can rotate this, place it down, and then, I was holding B, but I guess it won't let you do multi-part stuff right now. So we'll just do the same thing over here. Because these objects are only affixed to this and not to anything else, when I pick this up, they all rotate with it. I haven't really counted out piece placement, so it's going to be a little bit wonky, but that's... Actually, we can make something halfway decent. It'll be a little tight in the middle, but it'll be symmetrical everywhere else, I think. Yes. Cool. So technically, we don't need to do the rest of the ghost frame stuff, but I do think it'd be nice to have a headboard. We'll do something that's like a little more understated. Looks more like a cot, really, but that's okay. So now that all the little stars are placed, we can get to decorating. We can try to match that. And have a little fun with the headboard. Oh good, that actually kind of lines up. Not exactly, but well enough. Yep, and then I kind of like the default wood pieces to match what we saw there. And we could just go for the yellow up here. Or like the wood, and then like a little yellow bar. Or even continuing the pattern. Or, okay, yeah, there we go. Yeah. Just mixing it up a little bit. We don't have a ton of stuff to work with, and I do want to get through some of these quests so we can get to some of the other ones. So I'm not going to spend an eternity on every single thing. We're just kind of having fun. So now we pop back over to Poppy. Oh yeah, and they do have an option to skip to day or night in the day-night cycle, which you can do on beds or on the park benches. So frequently, if you need to get a new cycle of Sims in the hotel to see who you want to move in, the easiest way is to go sleep on the park bench in the middle of town overnight, which ends up being kind of a funny dynamic. Let's see, we're rotating over here. This doesn't feel like it needs to be right up against a wall. This could actually be kind of like, well, that would hurt your head, but could be kind of like free floating here, maybe. We'll line it up with this a little bit. I assume is why they put that there. Sleeping surrounded by flowers. Flower stand blueprint. Nice. Okay, there we go. So this means that we've done enough quests in the tutorial. It's 3, apparently, to level up. So benefits of that are Mayor Rosalind has authorized us to use the crowbar, which means that we can break a couple of things and get access to some new places. Not a lot yet, but it'll come in handy later. And also that we've unlocked new blocks to work with, which is actually very significant. Also, it means that people will start actually showing up at the hotel so we can get more people here besides just Poppy. Poppy, Violet, Patrick, Buddy, and Rosalind, that is. Our default crew. Check in with Buddy at the hotel to see if you have any visitors. Yes. If they're not here yet, I'm sure they will be once the next morning hits. Let's see, that's Town Hall, so hotel is over here. I always end up remodeling the hotel at some point or other. I'm sure we'll mess with it. MySims Kingdom had much better house building controls, but this one, so like the exteriors are a little rougher in this one, but this one has much better interior options. Hiya, pal, look, an actual guest just arrived on the train. Good thing I've been practicing my salutes. Ask him to move in. Yeah, exactly. Just talk to him and see if he'll move in. It's amazing how many people staying for like an overnight visit in town are willing to move here. But as much as I'd like Chef Gino, I think I'd rather have a little more excitement to the town this time. So we're gonna pass the night. Just crashing on the park bench. Actually, let's turn that back on. Doesn't actually affect the lighting. And jump in the fountain. This, I don't think has any benefits, it's just fun. Sometimes other Sims will join you though, and that's fun. And then we can sleep until day. Now let's see where this... Oh, it's so bright. Feels like I'm put on Discord light mode. I like light mode on a lot of things, but not Discord. Okay. Do we have Gino again? Nope, it's still Gino. Okay. I should talk to him at least. If you at least talk to them, then like you can eventually call them and say, hey, you should show up at the hotel tomorrow and we'll have a deal if you ever want to invite them later. So it's always good to have a little convo with people. Yes, you can build your restaurant and bring world famous pizza to town. It's an early 2000s game. The character concepts are not frequently, at least the early game ones, are not horribly complicated. Chef Gino's an Italian pizza chef. It's not, like, massively creative. Later on you get fun folks. You get, like, Pirate Jenny and Dr. F and a few others. And stinking whatever Chef Watanabe has going on. Okie dokie. Let's see. There's only 2 Sims you can get as a level 1 town. And we'll have to move them both in eventually. But, I mean, I could always just move Gino in. And then, like, you know, come back after that. But I'd really rather see if we can't do something a little different. Why am I in here at night? Oh, they're still hanging out in the lobby. I guess everyone really does hang out in the lobby even at night. That way you don't have to... It does make it less frustrating when you're trying to recruit someone. You have a larger window to catch them. Come on, come on! No Gino, no Gino! Not this time. Ah! Okay, well there's one other thing I can do. Well, we'll be nice first. Win him over a little bit. Get some brownie points. And then we're going to ask to move in. You ought to come over here, buddy. It's a fun town. There's definitely customers, I promise. Okay, so now he's in the move-in queue, and we can go move him into a place. But maybe if I do that, it will then allow me to talk to someone else. Maybe I can crash at Poppy's place. Poppy, can I borrow your benches? Or your bed? I know I just built this, we need to test it, you know, make sure it's safe. Awesome, nighttime. Well, now that I've slept through the day, let's go crash on a park bench. Jumps over the bench. That's probably fine. Making in a bit of parkour. The camera angle on this game is a little bit rough, I'll admit. It's like really tight in there. Ah, jeepers, it really just wants me to move Gino in, huh? Well, fine. Guess we're building, like, I'm not gonna complain that much about an Italian restaurant. That's gonna be delicious. But, there is someone else I was rather hoping to move in. Okay, so let's take a look at the map. Okay, tells you how the personality of your town is developing. Okay, so we can see right now it's mostly studious. That's because of the mayor. And you can see we've got 7 houses occupied, lots occupied, and 8 that are open. So some, oh, yep, and I forgot there's the map markers. So we got Patrick, we've got Violet, we've got the hotel, which I don't think counts. We've got the mayor's town hall, which I also don't know if that counts. Poppy's place, maybe they both do. Because they're each somebody's house. Like, Rosalind functionally lives at town hall, Buddy lives at the hotel. Halligtree. Keepers. Didn't read and talk. And then I've got my 2 places, the workshop and house. Which leaves, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The question then becomes, where should we put an Italian restaurant? I'm thinking they might like a place that's got a nice view of the river. That'll be a good spot for maybe a patio or something. Let's aim for this one. Oh, it's behind me. That map marker is actually a little handy. I think that's this lot. Yeah, the town's not actually that huge. But we can look at this pile of rubble and say, move in sim. Pretty sure you can only have 1 in this list at a time anyway, so don't know why it asks. Maybe you can have multiple? I'm not sure. Oh, right, in the building requirements, they need a door and a sign, so technically... that qualifies, but no. Let's see what we've got to work with here. I think it'd be nice to get, like, a good patio view going. Got 2 floors to work with, plus a ceiling layer, or a roof layer. We've got some options. Don't have great roof options, but they'll do. Columns, yard decorations. And then it gives you a nice little selection here of stuff that, you know, actually fits the theme if you want to do that. Makes it easier. But also, every single sim that you move in gives you new stuff that you can do. Even the towny ones that don't necessarily have, like, a business that they'll need you to build a bunch of stuff for, still provide you with new components like these that you can work with. I think they do. A lot of them do. I'm fairly confident they all do. Alright, so this is the front of the lot. Hold on. Okay, wait. Oh, rats. Okay. I can't back up. I don't know which direction this lot faces. So there is a chance. There is a significant chance that we will put the patio in the wrong direction. Unless I choose 2 axes for it. So assuming this faces the main road to the forest. This little chip shows the front of the lot, by the way, wherever that happens to be. Oh, and based on the sign, it is facing the forest road. Okay, good. When we interacted with it, the sign was facing that road. As opposed to the desert road, which is different. So we would want to put the patio sort of along the back edge. Like, even maybe a little to this side, but mainly the back. Okay. So we'll put our restaurant proper in here. We'll make it a tall one. Although, actually... should it be a tall one? Yeah, it could be more broad, like just spread out. We'll have another like wing over here. We'll get some dormers. I want to make sure especially that they're facing the river. We won't put one here because that would be silly. Or perhaps we will. Maybe we want another floor just for the patio lighting. Hadn't thought of that. Well, throw some more. We'll get some good lighting going on in there. Why not? But a door on the front, and of course we need a door out to our patio that we're going to build. Or we'll just put a nice like patio light right there and hope that's good enough for now. Just looking snazzy. Lots of good lighting, lots of good views, hopefully. Oh right, we need the sign. So perhaps one less view, one more sign. We can add more views on this side to make up for it. We'll put the sign here too. And I'll just add another patio light. So, yeah, like I said, the options in this part are like a little limited at times. There's only so much I can really do. We'll do what we can, but gotta have something from the kitchen. I guess we'll be in the middle of the building. We can add columns if we want. I don't know that they... Well... Do they fit the style? I mean, not really. But they could be worse. Like, obviously the intended version doesn't fit the style at all, because I think those are supposed to be those squared off columns that are designed to look like Greek columns. They do add a nice bit of texture, like, in there. I might leave them in the joints. And then... the only patio stuff we have right now is a picket fence. Yeah, no, we can go... we'll go slightly more rustic. Fences go along the edges of tiles, which does complicate things sometimes, but for the most part it's good. Now, I feel like we ought to have a fountain out here. Just to really, like, go with the view. It's not the right type of fountain, but it's a fountain. And then, you know. So now it's on... The fences are always a little wonky. Oh, the window's there. Okay, well then we'll just add it here. We'll say that the usher stand is there or some such. We want to paint this? I mean, it's, we do want to paint the chimneys. I think that just fits a little better. Never thought about painting this part before. Man, our color options are real limited right now. We will unlock more. Let's see. I don't think the wooden siding... I mean, the stucco works pretty well. That also works fairly well. Oh, I don't remember that type. Yeah, we'll leave it like that for now. I don't think that, yeah, the columns don't have options. Oh my, we can go for a stinking Digital Circus Pomni style thing. Yeah, I didn't realize some of the color schemes on those. That's actually not, some of those aren't bad. And then now that actually matches fairly well. We're close. There we go. Well, the contrast was actually, whoops. Contrast was actually kind of nice. We'll do that. Okay. There we go, nice little Italian restaurant. My dream as a kid, what I really wanted was for the shape of the building to affect the interior, but it just doesn't in this one. Okay, so we got Chef Gino here. And yes, good, we faced the patio the right way. It's got a nice view of this waterfront. We could even try wrapping it around, but the lot's a little small. Whoops. Oh, and the thing I should remember is this is way before autosaves were a thing. So, gotta manually save or else we'll lose all of this. So I will talk to Chef Gino. Ooh, Patrick. Hello. Mr. Food Fanatic. Hey. I always like this place, you know. Could use a few more restaurants. Well, I've got good news for you, buddy. Okay, good. Yeah, okay, it does face the forest road. You've got the sidewalk here. And not the desert road. Flowers. Organic is an essence that I really like a lot. It works well in a lot of things. It's just, later on there's a way to get lots of it. But right now, the way to get lots of it, or any of it at all, is just by picking flowers. Which I feel spawn much more generously in this version. How did you get here so fast? Oh, man. If we got here faster, he would have still been juggling and we could have joined in. He booty blur? Can't wait to get cooking. Excellent. Well, then I will just put in for a little bit of sleep. Then a little bit of wake. And then a little bit of hotel. And let's see if we can't say hello to Marcubus. Not Marcubus. Thinking, what's his name? Vincent? Yeah, Sir Vincent. I didn't even know we could get you at this phase in the game. I thought he was like a tier 3 sim. Oh, that's right. On the PC version, he seems to show up here more. Vincent Skullfinder. Lover of all things deceased. You're a bad archaeologist, is what you are. No, I don't want you to move in. I mean, he has cool, very spooky vibes. But the historian in me hates, like, the amateur archaeologist who's gonna damage the stuff that he's digging up approach. I do not like his approach. His strategy. Okay, let's see. I think it's still gonna be him if I go in right now. You could, whoa. Or did he just stinking bail already? Alright, well, let's talk to Buddy then. Poor dude, don't face. You okay after that face plant? Thanks for moving the chef guy in. Can't wait to get some pizza. Okay, cool. Oh, damo. Travel through space to a whole new planet and be a bellhop there. Well, I wish you good luck in your dreams, buddy. Actually, I think in MySims Kingdom there might be a way to make that happen. Some of the Sims recur in all of the games. They don't all, but a lot of them do. Some of them get much larger roles. Buddy is probably the single strongest through line for all the games. He's like part of your adventuring party in the second one. I could move him in and then ask him to leave. This is what I get for overconfidence. I was so confident she would show up, and then we got stinking Vincent. And it's not a scripted order as far as I'm aware. Unless the RNG on this version is a little messed up. I doubt that. You talk through. There we go. DJ Candy Super Groove. Hello. Here at the Halligtree Hotel. Now, as I recall... let's see. What am I trying to recall? Because I know DJ Candy makes the nightclub. Yeah, let's ask her to move in. Maybe not the most on theme for Miquella, but come on, DJ Candy's the one I saw in my textbook way back when. Like, and she's like the face of the series after a while too, for some reason. Let's think about where should nightclub go? Oh right, yes, for some reason that's what it was. For some reason, it feels like in the early 2000s, like a lot of pop culture, and maybe this was just the stuff I ran into, there seemed to be an obsession with like dance club, nightclub things. Like, as a genre staple akin to pirates or like cowboys or things, it was like there's the ravers, and it was like a cultural genre that's just kind of faded away now. Like, it's not like there's not still people who do that. Like, raves haven't stopped, definitely. But like, as a pop culture thing, it feels like shortly after the whole skateboarding thing left being a subgenre, and skater kind of faded, and surfer kind of faded. Like, I think the rave party folks kind of faded with it too, and you know, and cultural awareness, which is kind of interesting. Because I remember stinking like early Minecraft days, like Deadmau5, aka Deadmau5, I don't know which one he prefers to say, like was all the rage, and not just for music, but like he had a big Minecraft server that people hung out on. I don't know how official it was, but there was a Deadmau5 Minecraft server. And like he was referencing Goat Simulator and a bunch of stuff, and like Marshmello and the other dubstep folks were really in vogue, and like the big music of the day was like Gigi D'Agostino and all of that other stuff, and like melodicas and things. I don't know. It's like a weird snapshot of it, but it felt like nightclubs and raves and stuff were such a like cultural touch point. Because in the Minecraft days, like half the builds were like everyone would build like a dance floor in their house, or like a club to go along with, and like Revenge, the big Minecraft song, was also set in a similar setting. And like now it's just not a thing. Which isn't inherently good or bad, it's just not a thing that you see around. Like, it's you don't see that as like the staple character. Now it's like streamers. I feel like, actually, yeah, I do feel like stinking like VTubers and streamers have filled in that role as sort of like the role of DJs before, as in the sense of it's an influencer, but it's like not a full-on celebrity, but someone who is like well known to a subgroup and has their own little like subculture around it. Like DJs and clubs were super about that in the pop culture stuff, and like definitely like the new influencers have sort of filled that niche, I think. So we'll see what happens in the future. But in the meantime, let's try. The problem is, this is like I love it's like a very happy little like neutral town, and like one of the first things they're like is you should build a rave party club. Let's see if we can get people in here. So where should we put it becomes the question. I mean, if you want to hop in nightlife, I guess we ought to put it downtown, really. Like, we could put it in the boondocks and give like an industrial restoration type vibe, but let's just chuck it stinking downtown. Keeping things lively. If we need to move her later, we can. That is always an option. Okay, DJ Candy. And then, between Gino and Candy, we will be set for having enough quests to get us to Star Level 2. Which is when my favorite part of the map and a lot of my favorite NPCs start showing up. Also, Candy gets, like, the really funny shapes. So we can do, like, a, I don't know, pill shape thing, but it's usually more fun to go, like... So these town lots are so stinking tiny. Go something like that. Get like an hourglass thing going on. Hey, it's even like a hat in time. Wow, it really is like a hat in time. How did that happen? How did that work out? Can I put this on that? Yes, okay. Actually, yeah, this should totally have, like... We can still give it kind of an industrial, like, warehousey feel. Alright, then I need to get back to Candy's actual stuff. There we go. Oh, hold on. Okay, so this is the front of the lot. We probably want a door there. And of course, we're going to need a little bit of help controlling the lines. Just a little something for crowd control there when the time comes. I'm not going to put one here because I've learned my lesson. Actually, maybe we can put one there. And then we'll have like the bouncer here. That'll work. We'll see if it lets us in the door or not. I've built this one before in ways where I couldn't get into it, which was not a great choice. Of course, we gotta have the disco ball sign right above the door. A nice big view. And we'll just blast music. The crowd in line. And otherwise we'll get these nice little like porthole windows. That'll be a nice view there. Yeah. Got the door, got that. Oh, right, some vertical windows for the bottom floor. Just like really keeping things lively there. We'll leave the back wall a little bit more plain, give a little space for the DJ stand and stuff like that. And of course painting this because it doesn't... There we go. Well, let's see what options we have. Yeah, I think this is the best one. Like that maybe, but yeah. Okay, can't paint that. Yeah. You know, if we really wanted to lean into it, we could give an entire another, like, we could really extend the line. There we go. There's no way that I'll regret doing that later. I've definitely never built one of these where I had such a long fence maze to get to the only door that it drove me insane. Okay. Good, we can get to there normally. Awesome. Or we can go through the full line if it's a crowded night. Okay, let's talk. What's the word, Candy? DJ. Let's see. Club Candy. Gotten used to spinning in warehouses. Okay, yeah, there we go. And what do you need? Ah, stereo. Okay. My brain went to Asterion when I said that. A stereo! That would be a very fun, very stupid bit of fan art to do. Cheering up and positive and all that jazz. Definitely not being nice to you to hoard the essences. She drops 8 balls? Oh, that's right. Okay, that's actually very handy because we need a lot of those later. Partly because they're actually used in recipes, mostly because I really like the colors, like the green and black colors you can get with them. And so I burn through them like crazy. Okay, so we've got ourselves a quest from Candy. Now let's see if we can't get ourselves a quest from Gino as well. Check out his restaurant. And then we'll take a quick pause. This is sort of our cycle. We move people in, then we get quests. We might have to do some resource gathering for these quests, Gino especially. Depends on how much we did last time. Ooh, we can join in the juggle. Yes, the situational just... Oh, come on, Patrick. Don't... Okay, I guess you can boo me. I didn't do a good job of that. It's still rude. Okay, I feel bad. We should be nice. We'll be nice once more. I'm one of those people who can, like, never take the mean paths in games. Because I feel too bad. Oh, okay, he's still mad. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. We'll resolve that later. Yo, Gino, what's the word? I love that stinking... I think the monitor's too big, because the black bars around the cutscenes aren't... Like, they normally are supposed to be like, you know, in a theater when it does, like, the zoomed in, and you get the black bars on the top and bottom for theater mode on your TV or whatever. But, but it doesn't go all the way. Ah, pizza oven! Yes, 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 of course. We'll have to go get some stone for that. Gotta keep harvesting friendly essences, because I know I need more of those for Poppy. Just because we leveled up the town doesn't mean we're done with Poppy's quests. No siree, Bob. Oh, hello, DJ Candy. Wasn't expecting to find you here. What do you have to say when you're out here? That delay where they're still in the sitting position before they, like, or after they warp. Make sure you have the right cables. Not gonna have maximum signal transfer and foil shielding. Oh, okay. I totally understand that. I understand bits of it because I'm trying to audio set up for streaming, but not enough. Hey, Pedrick. Okay, and let's have a word with Poppy. Okay. I feel like the sprinting accelerates a lot faster or longer than this does, if that makes sense. Or than it did in the old game, rather. Oh, yep, still got a quest. Oh, hi, Violet. Very nice of you, Poppy, but it looked like you desperately needed something. There we go, the zoom in. Shabadoo! Another flower stand. We can make that happen. Hi, Violet. Vidonga? Dark, quiet corner to relax in when my kid sister gets overwhelmed. She's right behind you, Violet. Be a little nice. I'll leave you two to chat. Also, your kid sister is a business owner. Like, not that kid of a kid sister. Give her some credit. I wonder what Mary Rosalind's got to say. I'm going to interrupt another phone call because she is always on the phone. Ubanaklian? Fascinating to watch you work. I'll take it. Now I can give a rant. I think she's actually listening. Or she's just staring very ominously. Hey, Rosalind, this is not an ideal way to give a speech. Oh, nope, she likes it. She likes it. Oh, jeepers. I guess those specific business hand motions of, like, the two hands to the side and then, like, pointing back and forth and, like, gesturing to emphasize points has been around longer than I realized. For some reason, I associated that with, like, the multi-level marketing folks. And, like, the mid-2000s, but I guess it makes sense that stuff's been around for ages. Because it is a good way to look confident with your hands when you don't know what to do with them, as opposed to looking, you know, completely lost. So, let's actually, before we go back to our extremely grandiose workshop over here, I was thinking, wow, I didn't really, how, it really let me go all the way up with those columns. I'm never going to see the top of that workshop. It goes into the infinite beyond. Ooh, maybe. Ah, okay, there we go. Top layer. Holy moly. Okay, this is definitely the tallest workshop I've ever built. Yowza. This is also the reason the city looks so erudite. I've got a bunch of stinking gargoyles on my house. Not even my house, like my back garage. Alright, well, let's look at the test real quick and see what we need. So it needs 9 happy essences. Oops. Chef Gino needs 8 apples and 4 stone. And Poppy needs 8 flowers. Now let's see if we actually have those. Happy essences. Okay, we got 24. We're fine. That tracks. Yellow blossoms. We got 16. That should be enough, even with style adjustments. Stone. 14. Okay, that'll get us started on that then. And then I know we have a million, like, apples and junk. 45. Yeah. Okay, so we got everything we need. So normally this would be the phase where I go out and gather a bunch of items. And then we come in to build things. But actually, we don't necessarily have to do that just yet. Well, first we ought to save the game. We can jump straight into the building. However, I do think I want to get to the cave at some point and do some prospecting there, because we can get resources that are handy. They're just a little tedious to do. So why don't we take a quick break, because it's after 9 o'clock already. So actually a little ways after. And so I'll let y'all stretch. I need to drink some water and all that jazz. We'll be back in a few minutes, and then we will... I think we're going to go ahead and build things, and then we'll do the prospecting on the way to delivering them, because it's not too far from Gino's. So, I will leave y'all to it, and I'll be back in just a few minutes. Howdys and salutations, y'all. We are back. Ooh, let me actually screenshot that. That's fun. 'Tis a fun pose. Oh, I got my hand in it. Oh, that's fine. Sure. Please disregard the nightmare Diglett. I was exchanging memes with friends. Good old Diglett. Ooh, fireflies. Let's grab a few of these too. And then I am actually going to go prospect for a little bit more stone because I've got an idea that may need it before we start, and we can grab a few things on the way. And then we'll do our little construction project. But yeah, no, I've gotten really back into reading again, which has been super fun. Like, I don't know about y'all, but I know that, like, I don't know. I used to love reading as a kid and as like a college student even, but not the assigned reading. I was reading like Lord of the Rings and stuff I enjoyed, and the Foundation series and all that jazz. Alright, this is where I was going. The sound effect has changed from the original except for this one. All the other colors are, but not these. And I don't know why. But yes. But like, I'd sort of gotten out of it, and like, I just felt like I never had the time or energy in college. I had so many assignments, and like, when I wasn't doing assignments, I was interested in either like art stuff or games or other things that required my focus. And so I just never found the time for it. And I missed it. But like, now that I've got a steady job and a little more control over my schedule, and well, actually, not control over my schedule, but a just more consistent schedule, I've been able to make so much more time for reading, and it has been it's been so much fun. I've read like 10 books this year. Some of them were rereads, granted. Like, they weren't all like high-level academic or like amazing, insightful books. But like, I don't know, I reread the Foundation trilogy, the first 4 books of the Thief series, which was fun. Although much darker than I remembered originally. Like, wow. It did not hit me as much in high school. How dark the Thief series, and the Queen's Thief, if you don't know, and the King's Thief in that wonderful little series. It's fun. But it's grim. Let's see. But, like, I've been reading those, but I've also been reading some more, like, Empire of the Summer Moon, which was a fascinating historical work. Or, not historicals and written in the past, but, well, I guess everything that you can read was technically written at some point in the past. But it's, like, a recent book. Specifically on like the history of the Comanche tribe and the various tribes within it in the Americas from like the 1600s through really like the when was the end of it? It sort of follows the life all the way through Quanah Parker's death, and it's really framed around the Parker family, which is an interesting way to frame it. But it's really it is the framing device. Like, it's just a great history of like, I don't know, the cultures and events. It's fascinating. One of the more visceral history books I've read, and I'd be interested to read different opinions on there, because as with everything, it is just one perspective, and it is certainly not the only perspective on some fairly contentious historical events. But I thought they did a pretty nice job of trying to actually capture perspectives from a lot of different directions there. And not just the fancified, like, prettified, like, simple histories, like stories you get of cowboys versus Indians and those old tales. So it was pretty cool. I've been reading. I read The Diary of Lady Murasaki from Heian era Japan. I'm currently reading Sai Shonagon's Pillow Book. There we go. Also from the same era, they talked about each other, which is a rare thing in history. It's always fun when historical figures know of each other. It's even more fun when they happen to know each other, which I think was unlikely with these two. Technically possible. But there's other ones where you're just like, whoa! Like, they actually met. Like, Aristotle was a teacher of Alexander the Great, which is well known, but it's still wild to think that ancient philosopher and ancient conqueror, like, not only were contemporaries, but, like, knew each other. Like, stuff like that is fun. Let's see. Because when you think about it, a lot of historical figures didn't meet their contemporaries directly. Like, of course, they knew of and interacted with them, but I have to wonder, like, did Winston Churchill ever, like, actually meet Hitler? Or, like, some of the other leaders early World War II? Like, maybe in early diplomatic stuff, but I think it had broken down by the time their leadership happened. So they may have, despite being, you know, mortal enemies, never once directly interacted with each other. Or maybe they did. I genuinely don't know. That's a little more modern than I'm generally studying. But it's been fun. I've had another failed attempt at reading the Silmarillion, because it is stinking written like the Bible. And I want to read it so bad. It looks fascinating and wonderful, and the story and lore behind it and the world are just amazing. But it is harder to read than actual medieval texts. Give me Le Morte d'Arthur any day, and I'll finish it before I get anywhere in the Silmarillion. Like, I don't know, it's just, it's funny how that one is. But, like, I don't know, it's been nice being able to whittle a little more time away for them. And the way I've done it is really dumb, but, like... Boombox! But, let's see. But, like, it's, basically, I don't know, used to, like, you know, you go into the restroom, it's like, okay, I'm just gonna browse my phone or whatever. Or, like, in the old days, a newspaper. And it's like, you're just still in, like, the fog of the phone, and not, like, it's not like you ever find interesting memes at those moments. And it ends up getting distracted and wasting time, it's like, whatever. But if I just keep a book in there, then I can read, like, a couple pages, and, like, just keep chipping away at it. And it may not be the optimal reading experience, but man, it's better than not reading, which is what I was doing before. Wait, 60 stone? How long have I been absent-mindedly doing this? Okay. Let's maybe stop. I think I've possibly been doing this for too long. Well, just talking. That's okay, though. Ooh, okay. Hello! Oh, we got the ghost! We got Cassandra! Awesome! Awesome, awesome, awesome. Oh, no, she went away with daytime. Violet. Well. Just gonna leave the seance rug there? Well, what that means is we should be able to run into Cassandra at random places going forward. Well, that's fortunate. Yeah, Poppy really has a thing for flowers. I'm gonna have to work on this house. Like, I know I was going for Halligtree. I think I was specifically going for, like, the cocoon. And I'm not sure that that has worked. We put something in here, right? Like, we made a weird thing at the end of the last stream, if I remember correctly. Because it was the title card thumbnail thing. Oh, right, I just made a stinking throne. No! I hit the exit button instead. Well, fair enough. Miquella has a throne. We'll have to build some, like, horribly over-the-top chair design that, like, fits the cocoon from Elden Ring. Post it to the Elden Ring subreddit, see if anyone cares. Be kind of funny. But first off, let's go build some things. But, but the one I've been reading right now is Shonagon's Pillow Book, and it is just an absolute blast. Let's do poppies first. Do normal one, because I think we're going to go for a similar vibe. Oh, right, we got new parts, too. We got these angled ones now. No, we actually had those already, didn't we? We got these, but now we... Oh, yes, 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 yes! Okay, good, good, good. I like these. Having the rounded tubes goes a long way to being able to add style to certain things. And the circles... Okay. Awesome, awesome. Awesome blossom. Well, I'm gonna go fairly uncreative on this one, just because I've built these flower stands so many times. And I kind of like the idea of them just being like these weird freestanding things. Just the flower columns. We'll try to make it sort of parallel the other one that we built. Oops. But yes, the Pillow Book, because it's basically... it's wonderfully well written, but it's also such a conversational tone, I guess is the best way to put it. It feels like someone's gossiping to you about stuff that happened last week. And like, it's just very, very chatty, very, very fun. And it scratches that itch that a lot of people enjoy in history, which is the old humans have always been humans and like been the same. There's so many moments that like sound like they could have been from like someone today. And like it really is charming. And also just a fascinating look into life in a completely different world, because, oh my word, that era was so different. Heian era Japan, I should say. But, oh, it's been very fun. But it's also, like, made me realize, I think, because their sense of humor and their sense of, like, being a socialite and erudite and good at society was the ability to come up with spontaneous, like, poems. That was part of it, anyway. There were a lot of pieces, but that was a big one that gets focused on a lot because they were recorded, and so we have them. Far better than we have some of the, say, costumes, which only survive in a few woodcuts and images and so on. And which still leaves some confusion about how exactly to define colors, let alone translate them. But, oops, flower blossoms. Yes, right? Yes, okay. Oh, good. We'll just... Whoops. Okay. We'll do yellow for this one. Ding! Then we'll fix this one. We can do the lighter wood for this one, too, I think. I think that'll be good. It'd be nice to do the darker wood, but I need to actually, like, go get some dark wood and chop down the right trees for it, and it's like a whole deal. But yeah. But, like, the whole thing is with the poems is... Specifically, a lot of it was clever wordplay, puns, and references to the pop culture of their time, which was stories and mythologies and stuff, including some handed down from various places in China, as well as some created natively in Japan, and so on. And it's just... like, I feel like those people who have, like, the perfect GIF reaction for everything at a moment's notice would do really well. Because it's... And this is one of my favorite things about history, is, like, historical pop culture. Because, well, it's like I was saying, humans have always been humans, and we've always had our stinking in-jokes, and we've always had our pop culture references, whatever form they took. And I really love that. But in this case, that's the joy of, like, it's the reason I love reading footnotes and, like, historical texts and stuff, is because usually it's the author explaining what on earth the pop culture reference everyone is making is. Because we don't understand pop culture well, I mean, someone does, but generally when you're just hanging out, you're not going to pick up on the random pop culture references from 1,000 years ago. Like that Sumerian joke of, I'll have to look it up. It's basically about it's basically a dog walks into a bar, and then there's a joke that we don't fully understand. Because the pun has not survived the millennia. But, like, I don't know, it's still fun. It's fun to try to see what it was and understand that they had jokes same as us. And same as people in the future probably will. Let's see. Hopefully. Now, if I really want to do nice things on the patterns, I would, like... Okay, this is the front. This is actually probably one where I don't need to care that much about a nice thing, but I'm going to anyway. And, like, rotate it back and forth, because that affects the angle of the paint and stuff. Let's go ahead and put away the ghost, because we're kind of deviating from plan at this point. See. Where did that go? It's somewhere deep inside it. It probably doesn't matter. Oh, there's another one. Oops. Oh, well, the controls are still a little bit finicky. We got a little, like, smokestacky deal going up here. I know the original design had a bigger one, but, like, that'll do. Like, inset it a little bit, maybe. Turn off the snapping for that. But it's been a wonderful, very fun little read. Not little, there's like 300 little stories in there, and they start out as like, the book itself, the other reason it's so great is because it is like specifically designed sort of as a guide. Oh, well, there it is. As a guide for like the pop culture references, so it's sort of a guide for the poems. Like if you're writing poems, there's lists of potential references, things that are annoying, things that are exciting, things that are like interesting lakes and names. And I don't know if it was specifically, I think we're theorizing that the purpose of it was a resource for people learning to write the poems and make the references. I don't know if that's like stated fact that everyone agrees on or not, so take that with a grain of salt. But like it makes it a really nice guide because it's, you know, expressly designed sort of as a compilation of pop culture references. So it means that we've got really nice insight into the pop culture of an era that we otherwise wouldn't. Which is just super neat, in my opinion. And such a rare gift to get. It's the same reason I like Vitruvius from Ancient Rome, writing around the turn of the millennium. Why have I decided to complicate this by alternating the pattern? Move, slide under. Work from one side to the other. Cool, yeah, that worked better. And that's the back of it. I'm not gonna mess with that. If I need to, I'll just redesign the darn thing. Okay, 4 stone and 8 apples. Let's paint that, mayhaps. But yes. So it's been very charming. It has moments where like, oh, I think one of my favorite recent ones that I was just read was basically she was in an argument and realized that she had the wrong position in it, but decided to like lean into it anyway, and be stubborn about it, which is, I think, a way we have all felt. We've all had those moments where like, I'm gonna lean into this. Like, too late now. I know I'm wrong, but I'm gonna try to save face and act like I'm not wrong. I'm gonna simplify this so that we can do a nice, smooth color scheme on it here in a minute. I'm gonna use one more stone since we pulled up so much of it. And then we can have a little fun with the apples. Do like a stripey thing. Oh, okay, yeah, that actually kind of works. It puts double up at the back and a neat little double up at the front that gives it a little character. What if we... did it like this instead, just to experiment. Not quite as punchy as I thought it would. Ooh. So we're gonna lose the requirement for a second. And painting over it, for the record, doesn't lose you the essences, it just returns them back to your stash, in case anyone was wondering. Ooh, I like that. Okay. We still need 2 more apples, right? Yeah. Not sold on that. What if instead we did... Ooh, or even. Oh, right, they're connected to it, so that's... And then we go do a tall one from there. That way we can sort of look like it's a joint. It kind of connects with this sort of square off to rounded connection thing we've got going there. Let's check the stone. We've got something that matches. And then we can go all in on the apples. There we go. Just messing with that one. But yeah. That's what I've been reading lately, and it's been very fun. I highly recommend the Pillow Book. I know it's like increasingly well known, like it's not super obscure. So if anyone's read it, like by all means, but it's also, you know, a historical book, so it's not something people necessarily just pick up for fun. Ah, okay. Now, I must admit, actually, hold on. Oh, it's not going to let me leave. Finish later. Okay, hold on. I want to save. We built two things. It's smart to save. It saves so much faster on this than it did on the Wii. Almost jarring to me how quickly that all happens. Okay, here we go. Now, I have to admit, I have been considering a style choice. Which I don't know if it'll work on this particular piece, but for DJ Candy's stuff, I kind of want to try to lean into a Bauhaus look. Which I only know about because I'm an architecture nerd. And I'm not sure it'll work for the stereo. I'm trying to think of a way. So for context, the Bauhaus was like a 1920s and 30s like design and architecture movement that was sort of... They were the ones who really found the first nice mesh between like style and design and mass production, because used to they were kind of separate worlds that fought each other. You had the artistic design, which had lots of flares and frills and bonusy things and like swirls. Sometimes it'd be very Art Nouveau. Sometimes it would be like even more like classical stuff where you've just got like fanciful wood grain and stuff. The kind of thing that you could never mass produce and is very artful and oftentimes a little much. And then on the flip side, you had the mass production stuff, which was just the cheapest garbage mass production stuff they could find. Just like chuck it together, chuck it together, chuck it together. It wasn't even thinking about style, it was just production. And Bauhaus was like, hey, there's a way to make these work together. One of their main things is form follows function, if you've ever heard that slogan, which basically just means that the function or the purpose of the thing should define its form. So anything you add, any decor, any details, the beauty should be found in interesting ways that where every single detail fits the purpose. So it's not adding frills just for frills. You're not adding like Art Deco detailing on a train to make it look more modern and cool. Anything that you add is for function. And that doesn't mean it all turns into a big black box. They had, like, you still had style and design about it. It was a school of design, after all. Like, it's very much. But it just also made sure that the design didn't interfere with the function, and in fact complemented it, so it looked better than if they had just done function. And a lot of our modern design stuff, our design principles, draw on that. I mean, certainly the minimalist stuff does, and probably to too far of an extent. There's just, like, barely any form. It's just pure function on a lot of that. But even then, some of it falls back on it. But, like, the 1960s, mid-century modern stuff, streamline architecture, all draws on Art Deco, which built on this a little bit in its own ways, although with more flares. Art Deco especially liked the decorations with, like, gold and trim work and ceilings and stuff that Bauhaus would not be a fan of. But the blocky forms that are designed in sleek ways would perhaps be something more up their alley. But no, it was a very interesting architectural movement, and one that I'm quite fond of. Also, I was fortunate enough to do a study abroad while I was in college, and I actually got to study at the Bauhaus University. I was just learning German, I wasn't learning architectural design. But, you know, it was still cool. So I looked up one of the main architects from that time. The leader of the whole thing was Walter Gropius. So I'm going to try to mimic his desk with this one, and then we'll try to go a little more freeform with some of the other ones that DJ Candy asked for, because they leave a little more room for that. And as I do this, I have the ominous feeling that I have in fact tried to make specifically a Bauhaus radio in this game before, and I cannot imagine why. I mean, other than, like, have I really just gone down the same track that I already went down at some point in the past? What on earth? That would be crazy if that's the case. Now, I do think I'm diverting from the original a little bit, but, like, it does feel very familiar. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh well, that's fine. I think I want 2 3s here, actually. So, the brick links here are interesting, or the block links. You've got a 1, 2, 3, and a 5. They don't give you a 4. We're assuming that this is the 1 by 1 by 1. So sometimes you have to get a little creative about spacing, and then like an 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that Fibonacci? Anyway, the point is, you may not always have exactly the piece you need, so you have to get interesting with it sometimes. The rain just picked up again. I'm enjoying the rain. It's so nice. I love it when it's, like, actually kind of rainy. This makes things pleasant. Let's see, so what's the requirement for this? How many happy do we need? You're not gonna... Okay, there we go. Okay, 9. 2. 3. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. That'll look a little funky from the back, but that's okay. Ah, okay, and I know what I can do. Little ridge. Don't know why, but there is a ridge on the original, so unless that's another thing sitting behind it. Oh, I know why. Okay. Yeah, so most of the style isn't going to show through on the front, but we'll see it on the back. We can actually, if we wanted, like, kind of continue it around. Kind of nice, a nice little wooden frame. I don't think this is exactly authentic to the original, because it's a little more decoration. But, you know, it's fun. I think it loses a little bit doing that. Continuing the frame out, I mean. Oh, there's a couple options we could do. We could just put a dummy piece in here somewhere. But in lieu of that, I'm wondering if, I was wondering, and now my brain has gone empty. Well, let's try it with this, and let's see where it takes us. We need our happy essences, right? I think we go for the yellow. And then for these, I want to go for... I have kind of the darker brown, mayhaps? Give it like kind of a polished wood finish look. Or the actual wood finish. I mean, ideally I'd get one of the darker mahoganies in here and it would just look really nice, but in lieu of that, let's do this. Okay. Yeah, that looks a little janky. What if instead... This Bauhaus would not like this, but it is technically part of the function that this meets X requirements, so... You can have a smiley face on that side instead. And we can frame it a little bit. Oh, want slide under mode, please. Yeah, this is one of those moments where slide under is good, because otherwise it just wouldn't even go under there. And paint, and let's add our happy to this. There we go. Looks a little silly, but it'll do. You can paint the pieces that are behind here still, which is interesting. Okay. We'll see how that goes. Results varied, I suspect. Actually, you know what? I had an idea. And then we'll go drop these off, and then that'll probably be it for streaming today. Alright. Don't know why I rotated that one. The thing I need to rotate is... Alright, I need to hit 3 and then activate slide under. Then that. There we go. That keeps our exterior form and gives a little interesting texture and kind of like an Easter eggy thing in there. Yeah, it's not great, but it's better. Okay, let us save that, and then let's go make some deliveries and set up new quests for next time. First off, I knew I'd regret the barricades. Ah, well. Okay, DJ Candy, are you ready to Bauhaus? I mean, honestly, her furniture already kind of has this vibe. Like, we're really not that out of alignment with what she's already got going on. So, like... And the color scheme kind of works, too. Having that face that way would be kind of funny. But, there we go! Ooh, a couch blueprint. Okay, I hope that's the one I think it is, because there's a really nice couch blueprint you get from her at some point. That is fun. Not Bauhausy, but fun. And it does have its music. Hello. What next, DJ Candy? What next? There we go, couch and table. Then we can really lean into the Bauhaus. Save game. Also, I don't know why, but I am a huge fan of the... Like, it's not really generic music, but the music they put into these spaces. Yeah, she's just grooving. Okay, I guess we can't dance in here yet. I need to get the proper DJ booth set up, which will be in a little bit. Okay, and then Gino and... Okay, Poppy's right over here. Oops, I should have gifted, not... Yep, oops, my bad. Give thing. Camera over here, please. Let me just grab it and then we'll drag it over. There we go. There you go, they're like two nice little parallel stands. I guess the height's not quite the same, but yeah, it's a nice little match. Ah, okay, cool. And that little sound means that we've done all of Poppy's tasks. And so she's given us a gift, which is a fern, because admittedly she's not the hardest one to do all the tasks for, so the reward is not like crazy amazing, but it's still fun. A fern is nice, really makes things lively. And we can talk to her now, and instead of getting a quest, we'll just get to hear from her. Could use more flowers. Now, just because someone doesn't give you a quest, you can, like, that doesn't prevent you from making them a thing and giving it to them. Even people who never have quests, you can give stuff to. And a lot of them have a specific thing they'd actually want. And so if you fill that, you get, like, extra brownie points with them, and they're very happy with you. The mayor. Saving game. I'm trying to think how many times I've done these quests. Like the town level 1 quests, I have done so many times because I just pick this game up every so often. I'm like, yeah, let's just jump back into this again. Okay. Right, okay, this is not the most inspired pizza oven, but it's got a bold look. It's just not necessarily the most fitting look. How do we want to fit this in here? That'll do. Pizza oven's like the focal point, right? Finest age of ovensmiths from the golden age of crafting. Oven craft. Ooh, a bed blueprint. Nice, nice, nice. Okay, then we'll get a quest from him. And you can see from that shabadoo that he's excited about this, but he also has more things for us to do. Oh, and Rosalind, don't bring your paperwork to the restaurant. Ah, okay. Some more food sets. And I don't know. Sometimes I try to get creative with that one, but usually I just try to match these ones as much as possible because I like it when they've got a matching set in here. So we'll see what we do next time. We'll just have to find out. And see if I remember to Bauhaus DJ Candy's stuff up. Get it all industrial punk. Cool. So to wrap, why don't we head on over to, I guess, the egg of Miquella. Again, this is the game's much better at furniture than housing. I should definitely like just make the house look medieval-ish, sort of like El Chirel. Not El Chirel, that's from Baldur's Gate. The Halligtree. And we can just actually hold on. I forget. Sometimes how does it trigger the sleep option sometimes? But not there we go. You can take a little nap in the throne. And I do believe that's where we're going to leave it for today. I'm going to save the game there, and we will wrap up with that. But thank y'all so much for dropping by. If anyone did, Galactic did for a bit there at the start, and still in chat. Thank you for lurking. Thanks to anyone else who poked their head in, and otherwise, I hope y'all have just a wonderful evening, morning, afternoon, night, whenever it may happen to be. And I'll see y'all on the flip side. Thank you.